ngBind directive is used to bind data from controller or any from scope element. Okay, scope variable. There is ng model directive and scope variable is there. From this scope variable, bind data to this pan element. So here next directive ngClick. ngClick allows you to user click events. Okay, suppose we have some button. When you click on that button, data will get from controller. Okay, ngClick directive allows you to specify custom behavior when an element is clicked. Okay, when you click on this button, here one button is there. When you click on this button, there is a functions in controller also. Okay, I have created one AngularJS application module and created app.controller. Okay, in this controller we have some function is there. Okay, when you click on this button, ngClick display name function is there. Display name function in controller only. Okay, we have to define functions also in controller. To define the functions also, we have to use scope variable. Okay, scope. This scope represents this function and execute remaining functionality in the function. So here I'm creating one simple example. Doc type HTML and head section and body. So here we need to give the AngularJS application name ng app, my app, and in body element ng controller, okay, my ctrl controller. So here we need to take one button. When you click on that button, display data, some data from controller. So here type button value, okay, get data, and here we need to use control directive for ng click event equal to, here there is a some JavaScript function my function. So normal in JavaScript we need to write button click events. Here just on click event. So in this AngularJS we need to write directive, so not click events. Okay, ng click event. So save this example. ngClick.html. So when you click on this button, we need to show some information in span element or paragraph. span, use ng bind directive to bind the data. Here some name, this is the scope variable to bind the data. Span. So in header section we need to call AngularJS version, AngularJS version library, okay, CDN file. And next use script tag. In this script tag, here we have to create AngularJS module where app equal to angular dot module. Here we need to give, here we have to give application name, okay, my app, and square brackets and semicolon. So this is the AngularJS application module. So we created module, and here we need to create one controller. We can create number of controllers based on this application module, okay. And here controller name, my ctrl, function. Here we need to take scope variable, function open, close. This close is for controller method, okay, controller. So here when you click on the button, we need to call some function, okay. So to access the function in the view in controller, we need to take scope variable, scope dot, and followed by function name. If you want to call some anything function or scope variables, you need to use, okay, must and should use scope variable to call the functions or scope variables, equal to function, okay. This is one function. Here applying some data into span variable. Span variable, scope variable is there, name is the scope variable, okay. This is AngularJS second class, okay. When I'm click on this button, I want to show this information, some text from controller. So here I'm running this form, okay. This AngularJS second class, okay. This is AngularJS second class. So like this we have to use ng click event, okay, ng click directive, not is the event, okay. This is not event. Using ng click event, okay, this ng click event internally creates on click event for buttons, okay. See here in inspect element, Okay, actually it is AngularJS internally creates ng on click event for this button if you use ng click directive. So this function will execute in uh, controller function. So in normal JavaScript we have to create functions like here, like this. Now function, okay, my function, open and close bracket. In JavaScript we need to create like these functions, okay, and here we have to use on click event. So in AngularJS we have to use ng click directive, and we have to create functions in controller only. Okay, in which controller we have, okay, elements is there. In which controller we are clicking, in that controller only we have to create function. And next, ng double click event, ng double click directive, not event. Okay, ng double click directive allows you to specify custom behavior on double click event. Okay, when you double click on this button, okay, this function will execute. If you single click on this button, this function will not execute. Okay, if you double click on this button, this function is executed. So see this function here. Here changing ng dbl click. Okay, just change dbl. Okay, for ng click, simple ng click. For double click, ng dbl click directive. That's a small modification. And next, running this form, I'm clicking on single click. Okay, data not getting. I'm clicking double click here. Okay, so data getting from controller. And next, ng repeat. Ng repeat directive repeats the HTML elements. So this is very useful concept in AngularJS to display the number of rows data in our view. So suppose if you get some particular data from database, there is a number of rows. So if you want to show number of rows in your document. So in that scenario we have to use ng repeat directive to display all rows in our view. So ng repeat directive repeats an HTML element. This directive instantiates a template once per item from a collection. Each template instance gets its own scope where the given loop variable is set to the current collection item. So here in this example, in body tag some button is there. When you click on this button, you need to get some particular information, some employees information. Assume that there is a two employees information is there in database. Okay, this in future classes we need to use here JSON files. Okay, just create a simple example for this ng repeat. In future we have to use JSON file to get the data, okay, to read the data. When you click on this button, here two employees information is there. You want to show this two employees information on the view. Okay, here I have used here order list to display these two employees information. Okay, first this employee information is displayed, and next this employee information is displayed. So here uh, when you click on this button, this function will execute here display name, and here scope variable is created, scope.names. For the scope.names, created one object variable, object type variable. Okay, name, test name 1, and last name, first name, last name, for this first employee, and this is for second employee, first name and last name. So two employees information is stored in names variable. So here in another list, taken another list, taken one list item also. In list item we have used here ng repeat directive to repeat the rows. Okay, here two rows is there. To repeat the rows, you have to use ng repeat directive name in names. Okay, this is the scope variable to read the data from this object type variable. Okay, names variable, here names variable. Okay, in names variable taken one row in first time. Okay, name dot fname and space name dot last name. First time on this row will displayed, and second again second row read the second record from names variable. So here I am creating ng repeat directive. Okay, when you click on this button, display some information. Print.html. So here my function will execute here and names variable, and here creating object type variable. Okay, for in object type variable just created these two employees names. Okay, first fname means first name, uh, test name 1, and comma last name. One second. Yeah, submit. చెప్పండి. పర్లేదు ఇలా లేచేసాను, చెప్పండి. యా స్టార్ట్ చేశానండి నేను యాక్చువల్గా నైట్ స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. మీకు కాల్ చేశాను నేను ఏంటండి ఒక్కటే క్లాస్ జస్ట్ నైటే స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. ఎస్ ఎస్ అదే చెప్పాను కదా మీకు. ఇండియా టైంలో నైట్ 10 o'clock అండి. మీకు మీకు మార్నింగ్ 10:30 అవుతుందేమో. ఓకే, ఈరోజు నేను పంపిస్తానండి మీకు. ఒక క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది, జస్ట్ HTML చెప్పాను. మీకు కావాలంటే నేను ఒక రికార్డెడ్ వీడియో పంపిస్తాను, అది వినండి మీరు. ఓకేనా, ఈరోజు అయితే పంపిస్తాను, అటెండ్ అవ్వండి, మిస్ అవ్వకుండా. నేనే కాల్ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నాను మీకు, క్లాస్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యేముందు ఈరోజు నైట్. సరే. Yeah, next first row created here and second row and second employee information, first name, test name 2, comma, last name. So here object type variable created, and here display this information in another list or table. Okay, OL and list item. To display the number of list items, we need to give the ng repeat directive to repeat the HTML elements. Okay, this li element will repeat and display two list of items. Ng repeat name in names. Okay, and here using double braces. Double braces means also binding data from controller or any scope variable. Okay, ng bind and the scope variables. If you use ng bind to bind the data, and we can use two double braces also to bind the data. Name dot fname, name dot lname. Okay, if I execute this example, okay, two list of items displayed here. Here I created only single li element. In this scenario, repeat the HTML element. Okay, we have two records is there in object type variable names. So here using ng repeat directive to display enter this data. So suppose in real time we have number of rows is there. So to display the number of rows data in view, we have to use ng repeat to display all entire data. So here only one li element is written here. This ng repeat directive repeats, okay, this HTML element to how many rows is there in our scope variable, okay, repeats that how many rows is there in our scope variable, repeats that times and display data here. Otherwise we can use table also. For table element we have to use table. In first row we have to use column names, td, first column end and tag, first name, and second td, second column, last name. In second row we have to use here ng repeat directive. Okay, ng repeat equal to name in names, and here we need to create columns. First column end and second column end. So here in first column use double braces to bind the data, name dot fname, and second column to display last name, name dot lname. Okay, I'm removing this code. Okay, here first name and last name will display here, and the table remaining rows when I'm clicking this button, okay, data getting from controller, okay, there is no data here, okay, only column names is there. Here ng repeat empty. When I'm clicking on this button, okay, two rows is created here. Okay, see in inspect element. Okay, when I'm clicking on this button, using ng repeat created two rows. Okay, first row and second row. Okay, td column and td column. So for these columns, applied here class name ng binding class. So using this ng binding class, binding data into the column. Okay, this is very important here. And here for table row, here upload ng scope. Okay, using this scope bind the data from controller. Okay, from here this is ng scope and ng binding, both are important. Internally this is applied, okay, AngularJS to bind the data. And ng repeat, and here another scope variable ng init. Using ng init we can declare default values before start the form. Okay, ng init directive allows you to evaluate an expression in the current scope. So using ng init directive we can create variables, okay, default values. So here created ng init directive in body element, okay, ng equal to ng init equal to here created names variable, okay, directly given here names and equal to scope object type variable. So initially we can declare default values without controller, okay. Without controller we can declare the values here. Here just use this and remove this code. Without controller we can initialize elements using ng init directive, names equal to, okay, names variable equal to square bracket in flower brackets, there is a column names and values, okay. So directly when I'm run this form without clicking any button, ng init.html, without clicking any button and display the data, okay, create this scope variable, okay, initially create the uh, variable here and display the data in this table format. So here some error is there. Here there is no need ng controller and AngularJS application because we are not creating AngularJS application module. And here you can remove this controller also. Using ng init names variable equal to flower brackets and the square brackets. Init names variable flower bracket. కరెక్ట్నే ఉంది app. Can modify these single quotes. Okay, here we have to use single quotes only. In ng init directive, if you create any variable here, for string values you have to use only single quote only. For integer values directly we can initialize like age 30, here age 40. Here we need to create one more column here for age. Here td. Okay, name dot age. Okay, like this we can create integer variables and string variables. Okay, for string variables we have to use single quote only. Integer variables directly we can give values. So after this ng root directive, this is very important concept in AngularJS. Must and should any application we have to use this ng root. Because suppose we have number of forms is there in our application. From one page to another page, we have to redirect from one page to another page. In these times, in this scenario, we have to use ng root directive to initialize routing for application. Okay, use ng root to enable URL routing to your application. Okay, URL routing to redirect from one page to another page and change the URL also. Here you can specify routing for forms. The ng-root module supports URL management. So here one more thing, we have to include one more JavaScript form, that is Angular root.js form. Okay, this is supports for routing. Okay, this supports only for AngularJS concepts like directives and scope variables. Like this supports only for routing. So here in simple example we have some two forms is there in our application, from home page and profile page. uh, in first time when you open the application, home page will display. If you want to go profile page, you can click profile link and go to the profile form. Here we have to configure the routing for this scenario. This is the routing scenario, routing configuration. So here just I'm creating one folder, ng-root example, ng-root example. In AngularJS we can implement single page applications. Single page applications is nowadays single page applications very important. Now I'm explaining single page application. So here I'm creating single page application using routing. Doc type HTML. In every application one HTML index form is there. Through index form we can execute remaining forms. So in first class yesterday I explained template HTML. We can use HTML as a template language. So in this example we are using templates also. How we can display templates in our application. HTML, HTML, head section. Okay, head section and body. So here we need to apply, create AngularJS application. My app, ng controller equal to, okay, my controller. So here ng root example, you can save this as index.html. Okay, this is the root form. Here use this editor, okay, .NET editor, to create these forms. Okay, ng root example form. So I have created one example. Okay, doc type and HTML. Next here I'm using development. Okay, in this development used here ng view. So this ng view directive display templates in our index form. So here simple code is there in index form. Remaining functionalities we can design our remaining forms in template language, in templates. So here we can use this CDN file. First of all we have to use this CDN file, and remaining for ng root directive you have to use this, okay, this CDN file. And next here we have to create app.js file, js. Okay, in js file you have to create AngularJS application module, where app equal to angular.module my app. And here we need to configure routing. First of all we have to create controller. After that we can configure the routing. My ctrl comma function scope variable. Suppose here there is no home page and profile pages, so just created here on two links, home and profile. Using anchor tag home href equal to, Here there is no home page and profile page, just creating href, okay, home, and for second form profile href equal to slash profile. Okay, when you click on home button, it will redirect to home form. Okay, when you click on profile link, it will redirect to profile form, but there is no design for home page and profile page, and here there is no templates also. Now you have to create home page and profile page. Use here some folder views or templates. Okay, okay, templates folder or views folder, anything we can use. One HTML form, home.html. Okay, home form is created here. So in this template form, we don't use anything here. Okay, doc type HTML and HTML, okay, in header tag and body tag, we don't use anything here. We can remove entire code, and here you can define h1 element here. This is home page. Okay, just created one HTML element, okay, in home.html form. Okay, this is the template. Like this we can create templates. There is no HTML tag, there is no header tag, there is no body tag. Use only HTML elements to create templates. Okay, this HTML template will display in this index.html form. Okay, after uh, we we configure the routing. Okay, this HTML form will display in HTML index.html form. So I will show how to create how to configure the routing. Profile.html. In profile.html also we can remove enter an h1 element. This is profile page. Okay, so here two templates are created, home page, home template and profile template. When you click on home link, this home template will display here, okay, in EngV directive. When you click on profile, this profile template will display here. Okay, after configure the routing. So in an app.js file, we have to configure, okay, routing app.config. In app.config, there is one already predefined service, okay, root provider. Okay, use that root provider to provide the routing. Okay, dollar symbol, predefined services, we have to use dollar symbol, comma, and function. Okay, first of all we have to create like this config and open bracket and square bracket. In square bracket we have to use this already predefined routing service. Okay, uh, before this you have to use ng root here, ng rout. Okay, ng root service here. Okay, ng root module here we are using ng root service, so third party library. So for this type of third party libraries we have to use module for here. So here you can see this already ctn file. Here you can find out ng root. Okay, for this uh, third party library. Okay, root module is there, ng root module. So we have to use this module in our code. Okay, using this ng root we can access all these functions. Okay, we can access all these functions in angular root.js file. So we have to use ng root, and next root provider. Using root provider dot when slash, when you open the form uh, first time home page will display here, template url, in templates folder home.html, and here controller myctrl, and next dot when the profile comma template url. When you click on the profile link it will redirect to templates folder profile.html form, and comma for this controller we can create here different controller. Okay, profile controller dot otherwise home. Okay, it will redirect to home page. Okay, here first time when you open the application, uh, template home page will display here, and when you click on profile link, it will redirect to profile page, and URL routing also will change here. Okay, otherwise we can redirect to home page. And here created one profile controller also, and here you can define app.controller. You can create separate controllers for some different templates. So here we need to call this app.js file in our head section. So running this form, okay, here see here there is no only two links is there, home and profile, and ng view directive is there. Okay, in ng view directive, when open the first form, when I'm running the application, okay, this redirect to slash, okay, hash slash, this hash slash display first form. Okay, this is the same empty slash. So in this empty slash display, okay, templates.html, okay, home.html form will display here. Okay, this is home page. Okay, in home page only h1 tag is there. So this is the home page display in index form. Okay, see here using ng view directive, here only div is created here in ng view directive, class ng scope, and h1 element is displayed here. Okay, how many elements is there in uh, home.html form? The total elements will display here. So here we can bind span element using ng bind directive equal to my name. Okay, this my name will bind here controller scope dot my name. Okay, when you refresh this form, my name also will display here. Okay, how many elements is there? Total content will display in index form. When you click on profile link, okay, profile form is displayed here, and here routing also changed here. Okay, this will redirect to profile form. So here see slash profile. When check this condition, when slash profile in URL, okay, in URL template URL goes to profile.html form, okay, will display profile.html form in index form only. Okay, this is very uh, important concept in your real time also. This is very important in any application. You have to implement like this in real time. Okay, there is a templates, and routing also you have to provide for total templates. So in profile controller we can define scope dot class name equal to AngularJS routing. So this will display in profile form. Ng bind. Okay, class name variable, scope variable. Okay, refresh this. AngularJS routing class. When you click on home, it will redirect to home page. Actually, we have to write for this one also. Okay, when you click on home page will display here. When you click on profile link, profile form is displayed here. So this is the routing example in AngularJS. Can remove this. Okay, for home page also we have to use here also, or you can give home here also. Okay, home page and profile page. So like this we can implement routing. Okay. Okay.